and welcome. This is so far an untitled podcast. I am Jaleel Elkins. A little, oh fuck, hold on.
I know it's tough, right?
Yeah,
It's really
dude.
hard talking about yourself. I hate it. Fucking
Yeah, I can edit all of this out. We can just start talking. All right, like, okay, let's just start
hate it.
talking.
Okay. Wait, so you don't want to do introductions anymore?
Not really.
Well, come on. Okay, how about this? Why don't we approach it like this? Because I don't know you.
Right.
Okay? So we can just say, like, we can kind of interview each other just to help each other, like, talk about who we are in a sense. You know, like, just
Right.
help the other person be like, okay, you know. So, like, I can just say, like, well, first of all, like, it's nice to meet you. And this is the first time you and I have ever met.
Yeah.
And I've known Mike a little bit longer. But, you know, I guess you could just start by saying, like, what's your name and how old you are and how, you know, how many years you spent in prison.
All right.
And then kind of what you're hoping to bring to people with this podcast.
Okay, so that's cool.
Where you're from, too.
Yeah.
All right, so my name is Jaleel. I'm 31. Originally was born in Los Angeles. I stayed there till I was about 12 in Los Angeles, Pasadena area.
Beautiful.
And then I moved out here to Lawrenceville, Georgia, the good old dirty South, the North Side, two fingers in the thumb, Lawrenceville. Yeah. No. And yeah, I spent 10 years in the Georgia Department of Corrections. I guess we can get into that story at some point in time, but really what I'm trying to bring with this podcast is just awareness to what goes on inside the prison system. And it doesn't just affect the person that gets incarcerated. Like, it's the whole, like, it's bigger than we are aware of, you know? Like, I've done reading about it, and I've looked up statistics. Like, 42% of Americans know somebody that's in prison. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's half of us.
Yeah.
You know, and
Right.
but like nobody really talks about what's actually going on in prison. Like the stuff that we see on TV is like fictionalized. You know, like some of it is true, some of it is exaggerated, and some of it is just like way off. And then there's like some aspects that you couldn't even comprehend until you were there. Like, there's been times where we might be doing something and be like, we would stop and look at each other and be like, man, try to explain this right now to somebody that's not in here. And you wouldn't have the words, you know?
It would take many episodes of podcasts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, yeah, my buddy here, we did 5 years together.
Yep. Yeah, my name is Emeka Abenifi, and I did 13 and a half years also in the GDC, and I did time with Outsider.
Yeah, I go by the Outsider.
Where are you from and how old are you?
Yeah, I'm 35 now, and I spent 13 and a half years in there, so I went in there when I was like 21.
And you had 2 different facilities that you went to, correct?
Yeah, main ones. I started off at Jackson, which everyone goes there, and for the diagnostic, but I stayed there for like a year and a half. Then I went from there to Baldwin State Prison, and I stayed there for like 9 months, and I had gotten into an incident where war was going on, and I got caught in the crossfire and got stabbed, and then I got transferred to Hancock State Prison, and I stayed there for 10 years. Spent 10 years at Hancock.
And you moved to Hancock in what year?
2013.
Okay, and then you went in 2017, 16 or 17?
Yeah, so I didn't get to Hancock till 2017.
Okay, so you also had another facility too?
Oh, I was all over the place. So I
Oh,
was in the
wow.
county jail for I don't know from so I got locked up in June of 2012 when I was 19. So from June of 2012 to like either October or October of 2013, I was in the county jail. I went to Jackson, was there for a month maybe. I went to Montgomery State Prison. I was there too long. That place was horrible. No, that place was weird.
Montgomery.
Yeah, so I
Are
was.
you talking about Alabama?
No, there's a Montgomery County, Georgia.
Oh.
Yeah, Mount Vernon.
How'd you get
It's
to
near Vidalia, where the sweet onions come from. Okay, so yeah, I was at Montgomery from like I got there in December of 2013, and I left there in like June of 2015. I went to Rogers. I was at Rogers for like 6 months. Rogers was like, I don't want to be locked up, but if I could do time there, you know what I'm saying? Like
Really? That was the place?
that was the place. Hancock was also the place, but it also wasn't the place. You know, like it was pros and cons. Like it just depends where you were. Yeah, so I left Rogers. I went to Smith. I was at Smith for like a year. Like I don't know, but most of that I spent 9 months in the hole trying to transfer. That place was fucking.
Okay.
That place
So we'll
was
have to get into
great.
that.
Yeah, we can get
Were
into
you
that
in
later.
the whole, like, bargaining to transfer?
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. Okay.
Yeah, and they were pretty much telling me that I can't transfer. Like I have to get. There's a process. Like I have to get put on PC. In order to get put on PC, you have to tell them somebody's name. I'm not doing that. Y'all got me fucked up. Like, nah, I'll sit back here until you get tired of me being back
I
here.
see.
Explain what PC is.
Oh, PC is protective custody, which I wasn't trying to go on PC. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was just trying to transfer. Like, I didn't want to be there no more. Like, that shit was not it.
Rogers?
No, Smith.
Smith. Okay.
Yeah, Smith is like has been mentioned in like the top 5 most dangerous prisons in the country. Like,
Wow, really?
yeah, Smith is fucked up.
Okay, I can't wait to hear more about
Hancock
like
was
the
pretty fucked up.
differences.
Hancock was fucked up too, but like it was a different fucked up.
Yeah.
Like,
so after that, sorry, did you go to after Smith? Did you get to Hancock?
yeah, so after I sat in the hole for 9 months, yeah, I got transferred to Hancock, and then
Which year?
2017, and I was there until I got released in last year, which would be 2023. Yeah,
2023. You were released. Which
Yeah.
month?
June.
So you guys are released the same time.
Well, different years.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
2023 is this?
No, I got out in 2022. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay, so both June, but just you were a year after him.
Yeah.
And then you met in 2000.
We met in 2017.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, it's nice to meet you because it's my first time meeting you.
It is.
I think we might have talked on the phone, but I can't remember.
Yeah, we talked
Did
on the
we?
phone
Talk about the
earlier.
podcast? We
Yeah.
were talking
Was
about
that yesterday and today?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or that might have just been earlier.
Okay.
I talked to you. I talked to Mecca yesterday.
Cool. Yeah, so just from my perspective, I am a 36-year-old female living in East Atlanta, and I've been in Atlanta as an adult since 2014.
Okay.
I lived in California, in San Diego, so we kind of have that in common.
Oh, I lived in La Mesa when I was in
okay.
kindergarten.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. I loved California. So I lived out in California from like 2011 to 2013. And I was born in upstate New York, moved to Georgia, like the suburbs of Marietta when I was 12. So I like to say I've got, northern influence and southern influence, kind of, half of my childhood.
And
in
Western
each.
influence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Western, yeah. So I've got kind of that broad perspective. For college, I went to school for journalism, but I haven't been practicing for many years, so this is exciting for me to kind of re-enter some of the journalistic practices that I learned in college,
Right.
and just revisit that and learn from you guys. But I do know Mike from high school. We went together in high school, and then we reconnected in probably this summer before you got out of prison. We were talking on the phone a little bit, just texting,
Yeah.
just kind of reconnecting because we have a 15-year-old foster child who's our friend's son who we're both trying to look after.
Right.
So then in what happened, it was September is when I got a call. He's my godson. He's been without his mom since December. But he has bounced kind of some different living situations.
Right.
September, I had to decide. I had 2 days to decide if I could do this, and I had been seeing him since January. I decided. I actually called Mike and even though we hadn't talked on the phone, and I was just like, I need help, because I know Mike's had some similar life situations, and just I don't know. I needed someone to talk to, and I felt like I was drawn to him, and ever since September when Christian came to live with me, Mike's been helping out, and so that's how we all know each other. So it's pretty exciting. I mean,
Yeah.
kind of group of three different people with similar yet different perspectives. So.
Yeah, and we're all connected by one thing. Whoa.
The chain gang.
Yeah, the chain gang.
Just kidding. I do think it's funny though, because earlier, when we were talking about the chain gang, and I just feel like such a little white girl. I'm like, the chain gang? You say the chain gang? So stupid. It's so silly. So there will probably be some moments of just complete ignorance and stupidity from my end.
Cool.
I hope people find it interesting and be nice.
I find when I talk to people about it, first off, people are even surprised that I spent 10 years in prison.
Mm-hmm.
When I tell people, you were in
Yes.
prison, yeah.
Yes, I mean,
Yeah, I get that
honestly,
a lot,
from
too.
both of you.
Because I'm just calm, and because I've seen what humanity can be, what people can do to each other,
Yeah, some savage.
and so
savagery
it makes
scenes.
me almost unbothered. You know what I'm saying? Like stuff that can trigger somebody or piss somebody off, the most minute thing, and it's it's not the worst.
Let it
It
brush off.
it could be so
Yeah,
much worse.
I have noticed that hanging out with Mike that I often find myself thinking that way. Every day is a new day, beautiful day, a blessing, right? And I sometimes think, because I'm looking at things from Mike's perspective sometimes,
Right.
about how he feels, because I have a short fuse sometimes. And I do try to remind myself, because by being around you, it helps me to remember that, wow, things could be a lot different. And it just kind of goes back to the thing we were saying earlier, is good people do bad things or find themselves in situations that other people have found themselves in but didn't get caught, and or just find themselves in situations that landed them in jail, but that's obviously
Right.
not their full personality, and then you get stuck into the situation and you're in prison, and what do you do with it?
Right.
So it's just very interesting to me.
Yeah, eventually we get on some subjects. One subject that I would really want to get onto, and maybe have a whole episode about it, is that Outsider and I, when we got sentenced, we got sentenced to a certain amount of time, and we went to prison. We got taken away from our families. I did 13 and a half years for this crime. I just paid for it with my time and my life. And now I'm home, and I'm trying to, rebuild and become something. But then I'm still going to be doing time, because here comes this roadblock when I'm applying for jobs, or when I have to get a background check for my passport or whatever.
Yeah,
It's
definitely.
I get questioned about it. It's like, man, I did that time. Why are you questioning me?
Right.
Yeah.
And why should that be able to be used against me when I just paid for it with my time?
Right.
So what was all that time for? People talk about paying back the debt to society. Well, it's like you have to continuously pay it. It's like
Right.
a tax, I guess. It's like, yeah,
It
you might
doesn't
be
make
out, but
sense.
guess what? I want that tax. Every time you try to go get a job, every time you try to get a license for something or whatever, we're gonna get a tax from you. You know?
And that's a big reason why the most successful people, like when they get out of prison, most of the times they're going to start their own business.
Yeah, they have.
Like
They have to.
there's a big
Yeah.
community of formerly incarcerated people that are entrepreneurs and business owners,
Oh, yeah.
and they start nonprofits, and
Mhm.
it's definitely a good realm to get in. You know, like I think of it like as a challenge for me, kind of, because I mean, since I've been out, I haven't had trouble finding a job, and I think that's just because,
Because you want to work.
When you
yeah,
talk
Because there's
about
so
that
much
that,
work out here, man.
when you talk about having hard to find a job, what kind of jobs?
so damn, I've had like 7 jobs since I've been
Oh
out.
wow,
Yeah.
damn.
So when I first got out, like I got out June 19th, 2022. By July 15th, I had a job in a car. Like my uncle was kind enough to give me money for a down payment.
Oh, a job.
Yeah.
You had a job and a car, not job at a car.
No, I
place.
got
What
a
was your
job at FedEx.
Oh, okay, and you got a car.
Yeah.
So by in a month later.
Yeah.
I mean, it's very impressive.
But like I'm thinking about like I wouldn't have had that opportunity had I not had family that supports me, you know?
Of course.
Oh, yeah.
Because if it was up to
Yeah.
prison,
What would you do?
I got
Where'd you
out.
go?
I got out with $35, 10 of which was already mine. Like they ain't even slick about that part. That was my $10.
When you went in,
Yeah.
like,
So the very first time they put money on your books, they take $10 of it and hold it for you for when you get out.
oh wow, thanks for the $10.
Yeah, my
Okay,
$10.
well,
Thank
all
you.
right.
And then, so lucky for me, you know, I had a little bit of money squirreled away from just different hustles in the chain gang and like things that I mean, I might talk about it now one day, but you know,
We gotta check on the legalities of it.
yeah, gotta make sure y'all can't lock me
I
out.
was thinking about that too. We're
Make sure
gonna
y'all
have
can't
to.
lock me back up before we start talking about
You're
that
gonna have
We
shit.
to
gotta
look
run
into
this.
some of
Yeah,
that,
we gotta
yeah.
run this past the legal team first, man.
Right.
But yeah, I don't remember where I was going with it, but
We were just talking about the types of jobs you had when you got
okay, yeah.
out.
So yeah, I worked at FedEx, and then I went from FedEx to the Publix warehouse, and I was there, and it's just like I get into this routine, you know, and while I was in prison, all I did was plan. Like I wrote movie scripts, I wrote songs. Like I told you one day, I was like, look, we're gonna get out. I'm gonna start a podcast.
Yeah,
That's pretty
yeah.
awesome. That's
We
happening
did
right
talk
now.
Yeah.
about that.
So, like, I kind of planned for like things. I just didn't know how I was gonna get there, right? And so, I get this job at
That's
FedEx,
a lot with life.
and like, I get into the everyday going to work, coming home, going to work, you know, and it's like, this ain't it, you know. And so,
Yeah.
I was starting to think that, well, FedEx was that was the place to work out. Whoa, man. Yeah, so I ended up transferring to moving to the Publix warehouse, which is a way better working environment. Like because all of Publix
Yes.
employees are
Yeah,
owners
yeah, we know
of
that.
Publix. So yeah, dude, like it's
Yeah,
a
Publix is a
much
great company.
great company to work
I
for.
agree. That's good to hear.
And then I was just at home
We're
thinking one
sponsored,
day.
people.
Yeah,
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 Publix,
sponsor
get
us,
us money.
Publix. No, so I was just like one day looking at the stuff that I brought home from prison, and the only thing, the only thing that I brought with me and I made sure of was like things that I wrote.
Right.
Like I didn't want to bring anything else with me. So like everything, like
Yeah.
I have a stack of papers probably this tall when I
Wow.
left. Like I left it with a
You
big,
left it. Oh, left with it.
yeah, left with it in a big plastic, like a clear trash bag, and like it's just stacks of paper. And the guard was like, "What are you doing with that?" I was like, "This is my plan."
Yeah. What do you mean, man? Not enough time to put this together.
Like, this is my plan. The
Yeah.
fuck? He said, "Oh, so you ain't coming back?" I was like, "Fuck no,
my
y'all got me fucked up."
But you were saying that, in a sense, when you got out and getting a job, when you talk about that, you were saying it makes you think outside of the box because you didn't want to just be going to these daily, like, grinding.
Yeah, so that's
Um, but I want to say one thing before you continue, though,
okay.
because from my perspective of being out here the whole time, like, in a sense, the opportunity you have in front of you is definitely more exciting, I would say, for
Yeah.
sure. And also, I mean, you get to pull on parts of your brain that are creative and think about other ways. And whereas I'm working every day, and I have these opportunities in front of me, and I've sometimes thought about I should do a podcast or I should write something or like, what are these extracurricular things that I like to do that's not work and then just working out,
Yeah,
when I used to
you
work
don't
out
have time.
longer. And I don't have time. No, I have time, but I don't have the drive that I think you guys have more of a drive because you've had time more to think about it, and then also the options are limited for you
Yeah,
in a
like we
sense,
don't have
right?
as many distractions, you know? Like all day since I've been out, it's like, do I respond to this text message? What about this email? Oh, what do I have to go eat? You know, did I get enough sleep? You know, I need to. Oh, is there gas in my car? Like, you have
Yeah.
so many
Right.
things that you
In
have
real
to think
life, oh
about,
Man, I
shit.
know.
and so like it distracts you. Like for me, the most creative time was when I was in the hole. Anytime I was in solitary,
Mhm.
or if like the whole prison was on lockdown because like
And
any
that speaks to the importance of being able to spend time by yourself
yeah,
and to like really dedicate times because you get one life, right?
right.
And I think when you're out here the whole time, and like at least for me, I'm sure a lot of people do follow their dreams and do podcasts even if they haven't. But like for me, this is just my experience. Like, um, shoot, what was I saying? I was talking about how that speaks to. What was I talking about? I totally forgot. Totally forgot. Anyway, I just think it's a creepy opportunity. I don't know. I don't know what I was saying. It might come
All
back.
right.
Whoops.
Yeah, but I mean, I feel like it is an opportunity for me just because it was like a fresh start. You know, like when I got out of prison, I didn't have kids. I don't have a wife. I don't have like I had nothing, like no attachments. You know, I had
Oh,
no
right, right,
debt.
right.
I had no debt. I had no like
Yes,
nothing.
yes,
You know
yes,
what I'm
yes,
saying? And
yes.
now I'm 30 years old or 29 when I got out. You know, I'm still young enough to like do something with my life. You know, and then with what I went through and the mentality that I have, I think it's a brand new opportunity. You know what I'm saying? Like I can really it was like a soft reset almost.
Yeah, and you have the drive because you've been thinking about it. Like if you think about what you were just saying about how you every day you have to put gas in your car, you got to think about groceries, you got to think about laundry, whatever.
Right.
I've been doing that for this whole time out here, and I
Right.
haven't paused. And like the importance of the pause, and the importance of solitude, and I think that really helps you follow and achieve your dreams. And it's like you have to schedule that time
Yeah. Or you have to be born with a lot of money.
in. Right.
Yeah, that always helps. You know something about solitude, solitary confinement. I used to spend a lot of time in the hole also, and you got a lot of people in the hole that are behind their doors. They're never quiet. They're banging on the door. They're yelling under the door. They're trying to talk to people through the vent
Yeah, they don't know how to be in
because
their own
yeah,
mind.
they don't. It's like they can't do it, and a lot of people can
Right.
admit that they can't do that. It's like they don't want to sit in silence. That they need the TV in the background.
Yeah.
Yeah, they need this because I guess they just can't handle
What goes on in their
listening.
mind.
Yeah,
Like their thoughts are probably fucked up.
yes. Like me, I don't watch TV. I'll sit at my mom's house and she's got the TV sitting. I'll be sitting in the living room, TV right there. It's off all the time. She might
Yeah.
come in. She's like, Mikey, what are you doing? You're not watching TV? Why are you sitting in front of the TV and the TV's not on?
I don't watch
I
TV
don't watch
either.
TV. Well, what are you doing? Nothing. I'm just thinking. I'd literally be sitting there, because I like to think.
Yeah.
And I've learned how to think through being in solitary confinement, being by
Right.
myself for so long. And it was really kind of forced. It's like, here, you here?
Yeah, you got to get used
It's
to
either
it.
it's gonna make you or break you. So it's like, well, I'm gonna go ahead and get made.
Yeah, because you ain't
Because,
going to break me.
yeah,
It got, like, being in solitary confinement, though, I'm not going to lie, it took some getting used to.
I
Like,
don't know if you could ever get used to that.
but like,
Now, we made it, and it didn't. We got to a point where it's like,
it
well,
didn't
looks
bother
like I
you
gotta go
anymore.
lock
You
down
know what
again
I'm
for
saying?
another 30 days.
But like, I got to the point where let me get a 30-day lockdown real quick. You know what I'm saying? Like, like, give me a pen and a paper, like,
Yeah,
you know, a few notepads. Go back there with a couple of store items.
Quiet. I don't want to deal with anyone. I can feel that a little bit, I guess.
Yeah,
I don't
what's
know.
30 days?
Yeah,
I don't know. 30 days seems like a lot of days.
It does seem like thinking about that now.
Not in the hole, man.
Bro, I spent 9
feel
months
like
in
that.
the hole.
Yeah,
Wow.
I spent like 13 months in the hole. Oh, yeah.
Wait, straight?
No, I spent 9 months in the hole.
Straight?
Yeah, I spent 9 months in the hole straight.
You're doing it consecutive.
No, straight one time. Oh no,
9
like
months?
all together, I probably spent like a couple years.
Yeah, I
in the hole.
definitely, I would say probably I spent
Probably spent a few
at least
years.
2.5 years in the hole.
Yeah, I spent some years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Damn, because sometimes I can't even accomplish. Actually, there's like more than really things I need to accomplish for many years now. Okay, I'm not gonna get into it, but like, I have so much time out here. What am I doing?
Right.
Sometimes I feel like that.
Yeah, well, you know what's crazy? Was wild. You know, I'm still in touch with E. You know, Eric, my old roommate from Hancock.
Yeah, put his whole name out there. Tell him his GDC number
Oh
too.
shit.
I can edit it. Don't worry.
Yeah. Well, you know, our partner,
Say the GDC.
our
Yeah,
partner,
we gotta talk about that.
our
How
partner
we
E.
handle that.
You know, you don't have to say whatever.
Yeah, we can use
From,
chain gang names.
Yeah. Well, I had talked to him, and you know, we were on video call and everything, and he goes to the door, and you know, shows me the day room. I'm like, damn, you still in the same room? He's like, yeah, same spot. I got out in June, and I've done so much shit.
Yeah.
Been to so many places, and
Yeah.
he's still in that fucking room.
That's crazy.
So
Same room.
He's on solitary confinement. He's
No,
got
no,
a device.
he's
For
in
the whole-
the
is that-
population, but I'm saying the room that he lives in is the same room that we lived in when I was in there, you know, 6 months ago.
I see what
You
you're
know,
saying.
and then before that, we were in that room for maybe a year.
Oh, you were in that room for a while.
Yeah, for like a year together. You know, so let's say we were in there for a year together. So he's been in that room for like a year and a half. You know, and now that I'm out and I've been out for 6 months, all the traveling I've done, been to Florida so many times, been to these different places, been, you know, exploring Atlanta and everything. And this whole time he's been sitting
in that
this day
same
room
spot.
and inside this room. Like I was doing that, like the whole 13 and a half years that I was in there.
Yeah.
All the shit that was going on out here.
Nothing mattered. Like
I
you,
was in
you
the
couldn't
same
experience
zone.
nothing.
It was
Like
like
we were just.
That's why I say like prison's like its own world.
It changes it because like even the way that they're built, you can't see beyond. You know what I'm saying? Like all you see is the
The
fence.
walls.
Like
Yeah.
that's it.
I think that speaks to what you guys were talking about similarly in solitary confinement, how some of these individuals might not be able to be with their own thoughts.
Right.
So if you're inside a prison as well, and this is all you can see, like it's your world. How strong can your mind be, and how strong do you want your mind to be, to think about the outside world so that you can stay centered? Like, does it take times of forgetting about the outside world, or
Sometimes.
does it take times of, you know, imagining? Like, how did you strike the balance between that?
There's sometimes where you just gotta get out and get into the world, you know, like there's phones in there or whatever, you know, you can always call people, video chat with people, but then there's some times where you just need to be with yourself, you know, and formulate a plan and like just think and meditate. And like I got into meditation like really
Yeah, so
big
did
while I
I.
was in prison. I probably read thousands of books.
Yeah, I've read
Thousands
Really?
of books.
Yeah, I know. I was thinking about that too. I've read like 3
Um,
books in the last 10 years. I'm just kidding.
And like
my favorite
since
Nah,
series,
maybe
though,
6, I don't know.
my favorite series is
Game of Thrones.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Game of Thrones.
the books are way better
Would
than
you
the
guys
show.
trade books around? I mean, you had the
Oh
library.
yeah.
So like, but then you would also trade too.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's-
once we got the tablets, then
Oh,
we had any
tablets.
books we wanted. We
Yeah.
go to what's it called?
It was crazy. Like Like the tablets really
PDF drive.
changed the whole prison
Yeah, it changed the
experience.
game, man.
Like everything,
advanced
like
everything.
it changed. It turned prison into something completely different.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was talking with my cousin the other day because this is my cousin I grew up with. We're like 9 months apart. Like we
Okay.
grew up together, and throughout my whole bid, like I stayed in contact with him. That's my cousin, and we were just talking about just different like the changes over time of like, and when it comes to the what I noticed about the tablets, when we got those, prior to that, there would be like rap circles. There'd be people over there beating on the wall and rapping, and like it, like it's like a hip hop cipher.
Interaction with people.
Yeah, but I mean, we're making music. Like, yeah, we are interacting. Like, yeah, we're definitely interacting, and it's more like
'Cause
we
you didn't have access to
Certain
music.
dorms still did
Is that
Freestyle
what you're saying? 'Cause
Fridays.
you didn't
Right.
have access to music?
right, and so like people get very creative. Like, I have a friend, Mickey Machiavelli. When he gets out, I'm telling you, I'm signing him. I'm putting him like I'm building a studio. Like that's my goal. Like I am in the like all this equipment. Like
Yeah,
obviously, I'm
that'd be
like I'm
awesome.
building a studio, and so that's my goal. I want to sign him because like we would stand on the window between the main part of the dorm and like there's like a little small room in there. Sometimes there's
TV
TV,
room?
yeah, but not all the dorms have TVs in them. Like
Yeah, well, it's called the TV room.
yeah,
It's
the
known
TV
as
room. But there's a big plexiglass window that separates them, and when you beat on it, it sounds like
Bass.
like
Yeah.
the biggest bass. And like he would sit there and beat on it and like be rapping, and like other people would join in, and like he would put on a whole concert. Like he has so many original songs. Like when new songs would come on the radio, he would like remix. Like he's fire. And,
Well, I think the same thing happened in society out here.
yeah.
This is a evolution of technology, just in different settings. But yeah.
Yeah, Lil Baby
Sure.
was at Hancock.
He was.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right, that's right.
Yeah.
And we got to see him.
Yeah,
Actually,
we
this
did
is
see
kinda
him
funny.
over there at Music Midtown.
Oh,
Yeah.
word. We should get him on the
Lil
show.
Baby.
Listen,
Yeah.
we get him on the show.
Oh, Hancock alumni.
Yeah,
Yeah, dude.
seriously. He can talk because that is what we were just talking about his jobs and what your plan
Yeah.
is.
Right? I couldn't
Yeah.
even
Like, that's
imagine
the-
how he
one of
went
the-
from being in prison, you know what I'm saying? Like, go behind the door, lockdown, to 6 months later, a year later, he's fucking superstar.
Why
Like,
can't you
traveling
Yeah,
the
he
globe.
really.
Why can't you imagine?
I can imagine. No, I can
He
imagine the
sat-
possibility. I've seen like it obviously happened. What I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying is, like the mental things that he had to go through. You know,
Mm-hmm.
because just from being in prison and getting out and being in like regular society was an adjustment. You know what I'm saying? So going from prison to like society to superstardom.
fame.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
Like
Right, that I can
that's
see what you're
crazy.
saying. That's like the scale of, just like so like a ladder. Like
I
you
mean,
skip
that's
the middle
like the
part.
epitome of the
Candyland.
American dream.
Yeah,
Candyland
for
is
Like
sure.
you still have
the
a chance.
gumdrop
Everyone has
trail.
a chance.
Everyone.
It's just on the risk you're willing to take and the work you're willing to put in.
And a lot of people aren't willing to put the work in.
Do you
Yeah.
guys think that he left prison with similar amount of papers like you?
Probably. From what I heard, like there was an old guy that I used to talk with. You remember Sanders?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think Sanders was his roommate at one point in time,
Oh yeah.
and he said all he does is
one who
write.
cuts hair?
Yeah.
Oh, telling us.
He said all he does is write. Like they be on lockdown, he just be in there writing and write. And so that's similar to what I would do, what
Yeah.
I was doing. You know what I'm saying? So like, I feel like clearly our mindsets are aligned. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what opportunities he had before prison, after prison, like whatever led him to that situation. Like that's great for him, you know.
Yeah.
But I feel like we're on that same like trajectory. You know what I'm
Determination
saying?
and
But like,
creativity and
right?
just that's kind of what we're talking.
I'm pretty sure
about.
he has some kind of networking involved in that.
Oh, I'm sure, but
And I'm pretty sure he was probably building that network while he was back there.
right.
you know,
And that's what I was trying to do, man. I
with the
could like.
phones and everything.
You learn who the real ones are, who the fake ones are when you get locked up, and he has some real ones.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, like, he remained real
Yeah,
to
that too,
himself. That's how he got to where he is.
definitely.
Because really, it's all about you. So, what are you gonna do?
Right.
Here's your chance. You gonna come back, or are you gonna stay out there and do something?
Facts.
Or
I'm not going back.
even if you stay out there and don't do anything, just stay out there.
Yeah, just
you
just
know?
staying out is
That's it.
it's
I'd
Yeah,
crazy
rather,
yeah,
I
how
would
yeah.
fast
look.
people
Hey,
come back so fast.
because they want to. That's home.
Yeah,
It's home to a
like
lot of people. But we live out here in East Atlanta, and I showed you the little village and shit
yeah,
that they have out there. Well, the homeless. Well, I would much rather live out here on the side of the highway with these homeless people
they're in
than
prison
be in
for
prison.
sure, for
I
sure.
would rather stand on the side of the road and hold the sign and act like I'm crazy or something, and get money and food and stuff
Yeah,
than be in prison.
for sure.
Which, them homeless
I
people,
mean, yeah.
hey,
They make good.
that's a
They
hustle
probably
for
make some
them.
good money.
However you got to
Yeah, I
do it,
don't
go ahead and
know.
do it.
They just make bad financial decisions. I think.
Man, I feel
That's
like
a whole
that's
nother
a
topic. I am not
choice.
qualified.
Yeah, it's definitely a
It's
choice.
a choice.
But I mean, it's also a lack of
And mental health.
information, mental
Yeah, there are a
health.
lot
There's a
Like,
of
there's a
huge
lot
mental
of
mental
factors.
health. But
Yeah.
I'm not qualified to talk about this, but I mean,
Well, I mean, who's qualified to
I
talk
know,
about
right?
anything?
That's what I was going to
But
say.
yeah,
We all
I
have
mean, we
mental
can get on a
health.
subject about mental health people in prison.
Oh man, listen,
Yeah, that shit's crazy.
Jesus Christ.
I mean, what would you say the percentage of? Because I think we need to get into some statistics, like soon, because these things are helpful. But what would you think the statistics of mentally ill people? And I'm not talking depression, anxiety.
100%.
Yeah, 100%.
What?
If you didn't have one before you went in, you definitely have one after being in there.
100%.
I'm not
100%.
talking depression, anxiety. I guess I'm talking.
Something.
No, I'm talking
something.
mental health.
Something. Something is good. There's something.
Institutionalization is mental
I'm
health.
talking
Yeah.
more. Well, yes, for
Because,
sure.
when you get in there, okay, you asked about cutting off the real world from prison world. Now, what I did, because I was always at maximum level prison, and the people around me had 25, years
Yeah.
of life, better. So I didn't like worry about what was going on out here, because a lot of stuff was going on, but I had to worry about, in there, and of course my plan that I'm putting together. So I cut myself off from the outside world, and chain gang was my world. So I lived like I had life sentence. Always kept me a knife. I stayed in my lane, mind my business. Kept my business deals good. Never had
That's
debt.
do that
you
good
know.
business deals.
Yeah.
That works
I had good
wonders.
face. I had respect. I was never affiliated, but I still did business with people, and I set things up, and I was respected. I wasn't robbed or anything like that.
Right.
So, you know, I focused on that and lived like that was my life, because that's what it was.
Right.
Like I said, I was working on my plan, and people ask me, "Damn, bro, you about to go home soon? You still got a knife?" I'm like, "I'm still here, aren't I?"
Yeah.
When I go home,
So
then
what's the deal?
the knife will be gone. But right now, I still got to finish
Yeah,
living in here.
I gotta make it home.
If
Now,
they
as
would have
soon-
found that knife, would you get kicked out? I mean, come on, they know, right?
Look, after
They find
After all that
so many
time-
knives.
look after all
like,
that time, man, I'd be a fool to get caught with a knife.
Yeah.
I'd be curious. Well, yeah, I'd be curious to know
I used to have
what the
many of them.
sentences or additional punishment, or
Okay.
for things in jail. That's a whole nother topic. I'm gonna put that in the notes
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, there's certain things that really the only thing that's really gonna get you a new free world charge is
Yeah,
if
somebody
assault on an officer,
officer,
like
yeah.
bad, like if you fuck them up like bad,
Mm-hmm.
and like murder. Other than
Even
that,
murder, you should
even murder, you might get away with it.
because,
You know what I'm saying?
Bishop's roommate, he didn't even get anything for that.
What?
I didn't tell you about that. Oh, we're gonna get on the Bishop
Yeah,
story.
dude, that.
And we might have to get his sister on.
Yeah,
on
justice
the
for
line.
Bishop, because that was crazy.
Yeah,
That
rest
was.
in peace, Bishop. Yeah, that was a crazy situation. But yeah, back on the thing about cutting it off. So I was down to like the last week, and I still had my knives. I was giving them away slowly but surely. Swag and a few other people. And somebody said something about it, and I was like, yeah. As soon as I go, or they're like, well, are you ready for the outside, man? You still in here doing this and that? I was like, look, I can turn it on like this.
Yeah.
As soon as I step out that door,
It was
this
freedom,
Semeka
dude.
that's in here, he can, like, as far as like adapting to being able to just be me,
Yeah.
and I know I'm back into society. I know how to act. I was
Yeah,
ready
definitely.
for it.
I was ready
It was
for
like
it,
I
too.
just turned it back on. So I went from straight chain gang to when it's time for me to be home, I'm back. I'm home.
Yeah, you are very well adjusted for someone who spent so much time.
Yeah.
From what I've learned of you, I mean, I can definitely see your wheels turning sometimes about things. I can tell, but I mean, it's just wild to me to think about, And like last night we went to a concert, and
Right.
like
Is this your
I
first concert since
just,
you've been out?
Oh, no, I've been to
Okay.
a few.
yeah,
Mm.
and we just had such a blast. I
Yeah.
mean, and just number we have a good time together, but I just love seeing things through your eyes too. It makes me appreciate it too. I would say I feel like I was in kind of a funk of life. It's just crazy because there's so much opportunity,
Right.
and it's really easy to get stuck in your own prisoner of your mind thing type stuff. That's a whole thing too of just forgetting to try new things and forgetting to do different things and just seeing you enjoying that so much and knowing that you weren't able to have that, and like you even talked about it this morning when you woke up. You were like, it's just so crazy to look at other people, right, went around, because not a lot of people were interacting and having. We were a little wild, but like
That's
a
what
lot of
you're
people were
supposed to
just
be
kind
at
of
a
standing
concert.
around
You
and
don't just stand. You gotta show
um,
out.
Yeah.
looking around, and it's like instead of enjoying your own life, you're witnessing other people.
So it's
Right.
kind of weird to me, when I see the crowds of people, and I can see a difference from 13 years ago
Right.
in people.
That too.
So
Hmm.
like when I went to concerts like that back in the day, everybody's wild doing the shit I was doing.
Right.
The shit I did at the concert was mild compared to the other people that were, from back in the day. So when I'm at the concert jumping around and shit, I'm thinking, oh, once I start doing this, everyone else is gonna do it. Maybe a
Right.
No.
couple people
Yeah,
around
some
us,
people were
a
having.
couple people around
Yeah.
was like, yeah, but
Yeah, yeah.
everyone else kind of like,
Well, they weren't getting the party
yeah,
started.
and they're like looking around and shit, like, what the fuck, what's wrong with everyone?
So when you first got out, was there anything like you were kind of skeptical of? Because for me, I thought that I was gonna have a problem with crowds, because like when we're locked up, there's not. I mean, there's a lot of people, but it's not like a lot of people. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Like if
yeah.
there's ever a time where it's like gathering of people, with some bullshit going on over there.
Yeah, see, it's a lot of people like in a small capacity.
Yeah.
Now out here, it's a lot of people on a huge capacity.
Right.
But no, I didn't have a problem with adapting to that.
I didn't like. I thought that I was gonna have a problem with it, and then like
I,
it didn't. Like then I don't know what that
I
is.
didn't think so. I was really kind of looking forward to it, to seeing real people again.
Right.
Different people, especially out here in Atlanta. You see
Yeah.
a lot of different people.
Dude, listen, and in 10 years, Atlanta has changed. This is not the same Atlanta that from before I got locked up. And so, like, seeing it now based off of back then and, like,
It's
what I was
wild.
expecting, like, it's so crazy.
Yeah, it is. It is. I mean, even the technology with me, yeah, like the devices and everything.
Listen,
Everywhere you go, it's like you gotta have a device. You gotta scan the QR code for the menu and you pay with your Apple Pay.
there's
and all
so
this shit,
much
man.
stuff. Like, I have my watch, and I have my phone, my Google Home at home, and, like, my smart lights. And, like, I find myself, like, I'll bounce the mute. Like I was listening to music in my car. I pull up, get out the car. The music's now in my earbud.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? And I take it out of my earbud and put it in my pocket. And now it's playing on the Google Home. It's like, hey Google, turn the lights off. And it like
Yeah, it has
that wasn't
convenience. There's
it's convenience,
things.
but like
Yeah.
I catch myself like God, like
Yeah.
I'm thinking about
Smart
the
house.
time where I was in a prison cell and I got a tablet with the plug,
I
and
know.
the plug got a short in it, so like I gotta have the cord wrapped around
With
the
saran
tablet
wrap.
with saran
I
wrap
thought-
and paper clips just to make it work. And if you tap it the wrong way, it's gonna cut off, and you got to do it all over again. Like
I thought it
Look,
might
and
be
then you gotta
fun
bring it to me to
uh,
fix. You gotta bring them soups, and I'll fix it for you.
I thought it might be fun to do like a demonstration podcast of some of the things that you guys learned to do to create like your lighter, to like create the light, to create.
oh
We might have
man,
to
Um,
you think it's time to expose the liquor?
listen,
I don't know.
they got to earn that one. You know what I'm saying? We got to
Yeah,
get some
maybe,
viewers for
yeah.
that one.
Maybe in the third season finale.
we won't be giving away all the secrets, but we can.
Yeah, we
There's
can't do
definitely
that.
some ingenuity going on, like
Man,
you
yeah.
and tattoo guns,
Yeah.
stoves.
hmm
Like I don't like you learn how to roll a roll of toilet paper just right way, and that thing will burn for like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
The
you
wick,
got you a
the
fire.
wick was the thing, man. You
The
needed
wick.
a wick.
Oh,
Incense. You
Yeah.
know, you got to make the room smell good after you smoke, or if you got liquor in there.
You
And
you
then-
told me that you used to smoke out of like a long not just the paper towel.
Oh yeah,
roll,
you know
the
you
longer
know how you
ones,
put
right?
the roach in the paper
Oh,
towel
yeah,
roll.
yeah.
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 Paper towel roll, or was it like
No,
a
like literally
wrapping
just
paper,
literally
long
the
wrapping
roll
paper
from the
roll?
middle of the
Like
tissue. The
Okay,
core
it
of
was
the
because we
tissue.
were
hole in
wrapping a
it,
present, and
and then
you
Yeah.
said, but
yeah,
not
you
the
had the
long
long one.
ones.
Yes, you had the little long thing. I said, damn, you can make a big ass little dog.
It's like a little shooter. Yeah.
Yeah. But what else was I going to tell you? We made.
Like people like pumping the toilet to smoke. Like
Damn, I was
they did that in the
gonna
county
say
jail. We in Gwinnett County where I got locked up. You can smoke. Like they sell cigarettes on the store. They're like one of the last county jails to do it.
Oh,
But you can't smoke inside.
Which one?
Gwinnett County.
Yeah.
And
They have a designated smoking
yeah,
area.
yeah, designated smoke area and time. But we're on lockdown. Gwinnett, we were on like 20 and 4, so 20 hours behind the door, 4 hours out, and that 4 hours includes meals. So like you have meal like in that meal time, and you're fucking like if you want to take a shower or whatever. So if you are a cigarette smoker, you think you're only gonna smoke 4 hours out of the day? No, we don't figure out how to smoke inside.
Right.
So if you pump all the water out of the toilet, it's pressurized. So then you can smoke and blow the smoke and
Oh
just
my
gets sucked
God.
straight down the toilet. I don't know how they like who was smart enough to figure that out. Just like who figured out the popper, which the popper is just basic science.
Yeah.
But the
so
one
anybody
where
pay
the
attention to
one,
science.
do you know how to pop a light switch?
Light switch?
Yeah.
I mean, same way as proper.
Nah, dude. So on like a regular flip light switch, you take like a thin piece of metal, and you put it in the side, and you bend it down, and you touch the bottom screw.
Oh yeah, that's the same way as a proper.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what you guys are saying essentially is if there's a zombie apocalypse,
Go to a
you
prison.
Go to the prison.
Go to the prison.
That's what they did
Yeah.
on The Walking Dead.
No,
But-
don't go to the prison. Stay away
but they
from the
were all
prison.
zombies
No,
by that
dude, if
point.
it's a zombie
No, 'cause
apocalypse.
I want the prison.
Oh yeah, I want the
Yeah,
prison.
don't go-
No, yeah, y'all don't go to
Yeah,
prison.
stay away from
Yeah,
that shit.
Even
They're,
though there's
they're
enough-
disgusting.
There's enough in Georgia.
I'll never
like
go back there.
there's enough
unless
in
there's a
Georgia
zombie
though.
apocalypse.
Yeah, and listen, you go in there and you let everybody out and be like, look, there's a zombie apocalypse. We all gonna agree. Like, ain't nobody going on lockdown. Like, this is us.
No,
like,
no,
we
no,
gotta-
no, no. Don't tell them that, because if I was in prison, I wouldn't give a fuck if there's a zombie apocalypse. Let me out.
All right, yeah,
So I'm gonna tell them,
yeah.
look,
Let the
y'all
stupid
go
motherfucker.
free.
Yeah, let everybody
Good
go.
luck, guys.
Everybody's free.
They would do just fine, I'm sure. I think.
Hell yeah,
What you
look.
guys
don't-
have told me.
Some of them,
If you can survive,
Depending.
chain gang, you can survive the zombie apocalypse out there
maybe.
in the free world.
Shit,
Yeah,
we had the zombie apocalypse in Cheggang.
they're gonna make machetes and all that shit.
Oh,
Oh,
the drug epidemic.
Hold
Yeah,
on,
the
don't even
zombie
get on that.
Hold on,
apocalypse for real.
actually,
Inside
going
of
back
prison.
to the whole.
I was gonna say this about ingenuity. When we made our liquor, people asking all the time, "How the hell did you make liquor in there? How'd you hide it from the guards? They let you do it. How'd you cook it? You know?"
Y'all asking too many
Yeah,
questions.
you ask too many questions. You just do it. You know, we figured it out. You know,
Yeah.
well, the way we would hide it was just
Genius.
You know,
Genius.
My liquor master Meadows, Edward Meadows. Yeah,
get-
Edward Meadows. It's okay. It's okay. Everybody, they all know. But anyways, he taught me all kinds of tricks of the trade. You know, where we used to put it. One time we got shook down, and the officer's looking for this liquor that's in my room. He knows it's in there, lifting up
Couldn't
my
find
bed
it.
and everything. At one point, he had it in his hand, didn't even know it.
Yeah.
You know, and didn't find it, and we still use that spot. Well,
He had it in
they
his
still
hand.
use it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he didn't even know it.
Yeah.
Holy moly.
Yeah, that's how good of hiding
Holy
places
moly.
and shit. You know.
So-
Yeah, dude,
we come with.
I made it through a shakedown. I made it through. Oh man, I wanted to give up the spot, but do you think they know about that?
No,
But-
don't be talk about this. Let's table this and
Yeah.
talk about it next
Yeah,
time.
no,
Yeah.
But it wouldn't even matter. It wouldn't even matter, because if you do it the right way,
Yeah,
they're not
gonna
too
know.
lazy to go pick up everyone's shit.
So yeah, we would hide it in like. So you have to keep it in like a trash bag, like probably like 2 trash bags inside of each other. You know, like just liquid.
And then you have to burp it too.
Yeah.
Remember that you always have to burp.
You got to
your
burp
shit.
it first, but then you would flatten it out and put it inside the mat, right?
And then
And
you put the cloth over it.
yeah, you
and then
make
put
the
it back
bed,
inside
like
the
make
mat
it
and
make
the
it the fucking bed. Just don't sit on it. If they come in and look, you know what I'm saying, and it doesn't like you done got rid of the smell, they would have no idea.
Yeah, as long as you have your bags good. If you have your shit double bagged and
Yeah.
it's tied right, you can still sit. You can sit on it, but you just recommend it not to.
shouldn't, yeah.
Recommend it, but
Because it's
in
gonna look
mind-
like a water bed.
Yeah,
In a
if you had to, if they came in, they're like, okay, you know, sit on your bed, then you could sit on it, lay on it,
Yeah.
whatever.
Question for you, like when the guards would come in, because like this is just like talking about authority and like the feeling you get with authority, and like I get scared sometimes of like a police light flickers and I'm in the car, and that's happened to me like 2 or 3 times this year, and I always think it's me, you know,
Right.
and I'm like, and like I still tense up, even though I lived with a police officer for many years, because
Right.
I realized that they're humans, and I've just lately I've been having a lot of anxiety, like when people are like searching your room like that. How did y'all feel?
First of all, that's crazy because you like a good citizen. You don't have no record or nothing like
Yeah,
that.
like,
What
No,
you
I
afraid of
don't.
police for, you know?
Yeah, 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 yeah. I
But
just
after a certain
Yeah.
amount of time of being around that shit, you know, th- like as far as I go, like some people, they're always been shook and scared
Yeah,
of
they're
him.
just scared
You know,
of
they've
him.
been
Like,
there for a long time
and
and
they
they're shook
just
and
be
scared.
scared. Like, man,
After a
fuck
while,
that dude.
you
Like,
get
he's
to
a.
understand that, you know, you got to maintain composure.
That's
You know,
all it
like
is.
even if they walk up on you, you might have something on you. You know, you just gotta
You just got to be
keep going with
smart.
it
You know what I'm saying?
because
There was one Captain Martin. He used to come through.
Martin's
Man,
old
he'd
bitch
have
ass.
people be
Hey,
Martin,
Martin.
come down the wall. Everybody starts scattering.
Martin.
Everybody starts scattering.
What
High,
was
Oh,
Martin
high,
like?
Martin, oh,
What
bullshit
Martin looked
ass.
like and stuff.
Hey,
How-
yeah,
big,
look,
tall, light skinned. Like he was mixed, but he was like really, really yellow. But you could tell
Yeah.
he was mixed.
yeah, we didn't know if he was white, black, whatever. Yeah.
But he would have
He was
people
like
shook, and it's like,
really because he would find stuff.
yeah,
Like,
he.
he
But look,
cared.
hey,
no,
look,
no,
look.
no. This is what it is.
Didn't care, right?
This is what it
Or
is.
got paid,
Martin
maybe.
wanted to keep you on your toes, cause like he'll come through.
Psychological.
It's like,
fucked
yeah,
up
you
guy.
know
He
what
just
I'm
liked
saying?
his job. He loved
Yeah, he
his
liked
fucking
his job. He enjoyed the power, but he wanted to keep you on your toes.
Heard
You know
his
what I'm
warden
saying?
now
Like
at Baldwin.
he wants to catch you slipping. But like people are panicking. You know what I'm saying? Like if he
Yeah.
comes in and there's a cell up here, and as soon as he comes in,
Everybody
6
walk out
people
of it.
comes
Yeah,
out
he's
of
going
oh
there.
shit, what's up there?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? One time he came in, I had a phone and a sack of weed on me. You know what I did? He came in, I got my bowl, and I sat down in front of the TV.
Yeah.
I was invisible.
So
I was
you had-
invisible.
You put your weed in the bowl.
No,
No, he just
no,
put
I
it
had
in his
my
pocket,
weed in
sat
my
down and
pocket.
watched
I had
TV.
a phone in one pocket. I had weed in
And
another
he came
pocket.
into your cell.
No,
No,
he just came in the dorm.
Okay, okay.
And
yeah,
people
that's
start
something
fucking
I don't
panicking,
understand.
you know,
Yeah,
because he
everyone's-
goes around like opening doors and stuff like that to catch somebody doing something. You know what I'm saying? So I got the phone in one pocket, the weed in another pocket. I got a bowl of soup. I'm sitting in front of the TV eating my soup. He's not even thinking that I'm doing anything wrong because
You don't look suspicious.
yeah, I'm just
Yeah.
sitting there eating my dinner, watching TV.
Yeah, there's a lot of that going on. So you do have to be very like aware of other
Situational
people.
That's all it
awareness.
is.
That's all it is.
And
Really, you just gotta be prepared. Because when I made spots, you know, especially for myself, it was so that when I have a phone or if I have something that's of value to me, like the knives and all that stuff,
Right.
I can put it up whenever I want to, like
Right.
really quick. They could be outside the door, and I can put it up and open the door, and they can't find it.
Right.
You know, so it's really all about thinking ahead, being smart.
Right.
You know, because if you're not prepared, then you're gonna lose your shit.
For
'Cause
sure.
how many times they're like, oh yeah, they're shaking down tomorrow, man. Hey, bro, can you put this up for me? Hey, you know where to put this? You know.
Yeah,
I'm
people be
like,
running around.
You just spent $1,200 on that phone.
And you didn't have
and
any
you
insurance.
didn't think about them shaking down. You think that you could just have it, you know? And then when I offer them, or I give them the quote on the what it's gonna cost to make the spot, they're like, damn, man, you gonna charge me what?
Yeah.
It's like what, $200 to make a spot? Yeah, I'm cutting metal with my hands, my
Like,
bare fucking
it's
hands.
it's not easy.
Yeah, you spent $1,200 on that damn phone. What's $200 for insurance?
Yeah, facts. You know, it's just like in the real, like it's just like that in the real world. Like Chang'an, economics and
economics.
real world economic, like it
Yes.
rolls over.
Yeah.
Like the
Yeah.
principles roll over.
Mhm. Credit, you know,
Yeah,
all
dude.
that. I had a good credit score. in
I had
prison.
a
I
great
get credit
prison.
from anyone.
I had a great prison credit score, especially like we cook liquor. That's a top tier. Like that's up there with drug dealing. You know what I'm saying? Like drug dealing, having a phone and cooking liquor. Like we're equal. Like
Yeah,
I
once
can
we got
pull
to
up
our
on the
liquor-
drug dealers
Yeah.
and like
When we got to our liquor days, we
Oh.
always had. We didn't go
whatever,
without. Yeah, we didn't
whatever
go
I
without.
wanted, whenever I wanted.
Yeah, and even if we ever did get behind, it's like shit. We make liquor. We
Yeah.
catch up. Mhm.
Yeah, it'd be some days I'll be $300 in debt.
Yeah.
You know, I'll go cook 2 batches of liquor. I'm out of debt. All right, run it back up.
Yeah.
You would be in debt by just verbal agreements.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, and there's word of mouth in your face, you know.
And that's it,
So
like-
if you're in one dorm, and say like a lot of these young white dudes, you know, the white boys in the prison, what they do, especially the Ghostface. Yeah, I'm putting y'all out there. They'll go in the dorm
White
and
boys?
Ghostface. They know who they are.
It's a gang. They know
So,
it's a gang.
I wouldn't even call it
I don't
that.
even know what it is.
But
It's an
anyways,
embarrassment.
what they do, they'll come in the dorm and get credit because what these ignorant drug dealers will do, the niggas, not even the black guys,
No.
not the black folks, the niggas.
Yeah.
What they do, they see a little white boy come in,
And
he's
they
got
assume
money.
he got money
He
just
got
because
money.
he's white.
Hey, white boy, come here, man. What you need? What you need? I got it. So they'll credit him.
It's like
Really?
reverse racism in
Yes.
there. Like
Oh, yeah.
the racism in there is so ass back. It's crazy.
It is
like it
fucking
doesn't
crazy.
make sense.
Uncle Ruck is everywhere in that bitch, man. So they'll credit him. Every now and then. Well, this is how they get them. The slick ones. They'll pay him. They'll pay him the first time, and then
Like I put it in front of you.
they pay him the first time,
Yeah.
and the next time they're gonna like get double or triple
Right.
what they just paid off, and then when they normally do that, they probably kite out, go to the hole, and and they'll leave, or they'll do something to get themselves locked down so they don't have to pay.
Oh.
So what'll
And then-
happen is,
But then when they get out, I mean, people.
yeah,
forget?
exactly.
Do they
Over
forget?
time, yeah.
People don't forget. That's
Yeah,
from
people don't
Superbad.
forget.
When he gets to another
I love
dorm,
that.
like he might be trying to do the same thing, but most likely
Word of mouth.
get around. And
Yeah.
even
Hey,
if
man,
they
watch
did,
out.
Yeah, when
Be
they
a
do
catch out
find
artist. That's what they call it. He gonna catch out.
Yeah, when they do find out if they already credited him stuff, now they got the eye on.
Yeah.
Like,
now
hey,
they be watching
Mo,
it.
yeah,
Especially
I want
store
my
day.
shit.
Now,
Yeah,
that
store
last time you did this, I see.
Yeah,
Yeah.
store day comes.
Store day, you like
Hey,
you
store
got certain,
day-
especially like the people that have money. Like when you have, like if you have a phone and you got all the sacks of weed, you got all the sacks of dope, you got they got to come to you for something. Like you don't have a problem crediting people because like you can't. Like, there's really no way in there to maneuver without credit unless you have a product on hand 100% of the
money
time.
on hand, yeah.
Like, but most of the time, you're gonna have to credit at some point in time. You know what I'm saying? So if you
Yeah,
credit
even
it
for
out,
a few hours,
you know what I'm saying? Like, the big people that credit the most, that have all the money, the storemen, the drug dealers, bro, come store day and they standing on that range watching
Yeah.
every single store bag.
Damn.
Yeah.
Hey, so I don't know how much more we want to talk today, but I've been taking notes, and that's why I'm like sitting here on my phone looking like
I'm cool. Like we
texting
can
other people.
talk.
But can I do want to like get to a point where I can tell you like what I took in notes, and then this kind of helps
Sure.
the viewers and ourselves to focus on some of the topics that we'll cover throughout
Right.
the series. And obviously we've got to put some more thought into it, but I think like what I've heard from you guys is pretty cool, and I think there's many aspects we can look at. So I'm just gonna start from what I wrote down. So
All right.
first thing I wrote was Che Gigs because that shit's funny.
Chang.
Side hustles in prison, hoppers. So, okay, money in prison, the evolution of devices, suitcasing. I think I need a little bit more of an explanation. Okay,
Stay tuned to find out about suitcasing.
What things in prison cause you to have consequences, and the additional time versus the whole versus others? I think like that'd be a really interesting thing to dive into. A demonstration podcast where we could talk, y'all could show different things.
We could
Or
show
we
you
could
how to
have,
cook liquor.
Or we could have, like just the little things, even just like
Show 'em how to
or,
cut metal.
Oh man.
with another piece of metal.
And maybe that could just be like a segment of our hour podcast where we could do like a 5-minute demonstration or just like a
How to
quick
make knives.
or just like quick fact or something.
Yeah.
Anyway, prison layout. Like, and personally, I want to know like from the start, like what is the layout of a prison?
Each prison
facility?
is built different.
It's probably about
and
the
just
the
what are the
rooms are probably about the
areas?
size of that bathroom.
Oh my god,
What'd you say?
Yeah.
Yeah.
with 2 people in it.
Yeah.
Oh my god, guys, it's a small bathroom. All right, economics, the changing versus others. I don't know what that means, but rebuilding credit after we could talk about the first 30, 60, 90 days out.
Oh.
That'd be a fun one.
That would be fun.
Verbal agreements and word of mouth, racism in prison, debts in prison, and pertaining to bargaining and credits, and then relationships, friends, lovers, guards.
Word.
Sounds fun, right? I'm sure there's more.
Sounds fun.
Anything else you guys want me to write down?
The
Or hot.
the epidemic, the fucking
Yeah, the
the
drug.
strip pandemic.
Oh, the strip-
like we had the
the
pandemic
stripidemic.
before the demic.
Wait, what?
Yeah, we had a pandemic before the pandemic. It was ridiculous.
Really?
Oh, those And
We
like,
gotta talk about the crazy
oh
things.
man, the wave, because it came in waves. Like
Yeah.
the first wave, though we never got those again.
Oh my god, I'm
Yeah.
so curious. Okay,
Oh,
and then
Oh, yeah,
man.
we got some fun stories.
Yeah, definitely.
Many fun stories.
yeah, I'm looking forward to getting to know you guys both more and to sharing these stories with everyone. And
Definitely.
You
Wait
know.
till I tell you about Loco, man. I'll tell you my story about Loco.
You talking about Fat Loco? Fucking
Yeah, he wasn't always fat, but he stopped getting high and he got fat, and then he started
yeah.
getting high again.
I know Loco. I got some stories about
Yeah,
Loco.
his brother ET, remember he used to like pick it out and shit.
Oh,
Yeah,
bro.
Loco. I gotta tell you about the time when I fucked around and hung out with Loco and
Listen.
Carnitas one night.
Listen.
Ended up 1 week later.
Same
Yeah,
same
we'll
stuff
talk
Nacho
about
used to do.
Oh,
Nacho. Oh, that's my. Oh, hey, you know Nacho's finna get out, right?
yeah, Nacho. He burned his bridge with me.
What?
Yeah,
Okay, well, we can talk about that maybe.
yeah.
And of course, we're gonna have guests, and sometimes we might call people within.
Yeah,
if
dude, have
possible.
call-ins.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely.
We
So
definitely gonna
that'll
call
be-
some people from the inside.
Like have people like that know nothing about the prison system.
Yeah,
Have them
if
come
there's
ask
any
us
questions, you know, we'll
Definitely.
see what's on
We
the
can get
on the board.
updates too. Like part of this, like maybe family members want to watch, and if they don't get to talk to their parents, it sounds like you guys could because you have like drawings in there. So.
Yeah, like
That's where
people.
we can start because I mean, my uncle, they would love to do that, and then they would network with. They would definitely
Right.
spread the word to their coworkers and friends and colleagues.
What do you mean?
Like when we start the podcast and put it out there.
Wait, what about your uncle?
Well,
Oh, they would give it to like their friends.
Yeah,
and
they're just
colleagues.
their
family
They
network.
know a lot of people,
Oh,
a lot of
yeah,
different people,
of
you know.
course, yeah.
So they can put it out there, you know, help us get our stuff out there to the audience we're looking for.
Definitely.
And maybe like, yeah, I don't know. I think it'd be particularly interesting to like follow, one or two of y'all's friends like in there and just they can give updates.
Oh yeah,
on-
updates.
Oh,
on
there's
them.
many of
There's
them.
many
And
of
that-
them. We
yeah,
got some
so-
characters.
Mhm.
But then I also want to talk to so like I've been planning this podcast for a while, so there's like a lot of pre-production things that I've done. So I've met people who have family members that have been incarcerated and how it's affecting their lives. Other formerly incarcerated people. There was a woman that did 23 years in the prison system. I want to say I got a good audio with her, but I would like to sit down with her in person and just talk. She's in Macon. So maybe we could, I don't know, figure something out.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Well,
I'm gonna
Taking
edit
that
that out.
final note. Cool. I'm
well, yeah, I
excited.
feel like this is a good start.
Yeah.
And we've got a lot more.
Definitely, there's
whole
more.
lot more.
So
Stay tuned.
stay tuned.
Yep, stay tuned.